There was a Viking who conquered Paris and basically held it hostage. He killed the King of England and the King of Sweden. This Viking was so mighty that he became something called a sea king. Basically, his naval force was so large that it was effectively its own country. To accomplish all of this, the Viking was a cunning tactician who employed a blitzkrieg style of fighting before blitzkrieg was even a thing. He was a great man, a terrible man, who did awful things, but undeniably great. Even after his death, this man could not be stopped. He became the patriarch to a dynasty of brutality said to be descended from Odin himself. He bore 3 sons, who all went on to be just as terrifying and cold-blooded as he was. This Viking's name is Ragnar Lothbrok, and his story is bloody, brutal, and fascinating. King Charlemagne ruled Francia, modern-day France, in the 8th century. He was credited for uniting all of Western and Central Europe under his rule. This unification meant there was a centralized, well-run defense around Charlemagne's land. The coasts were well guarded, and Charlemagne had navies constantly patrolling the seas. For a long time, this level of protection kept his kingdom safe from would-be Viking raiders. Charlemagne was and still is rightfully considered a great ruler. But in 814, Charlemagne fell ill and died, and when Charlemagne died, Frankish unity died with him. His kingdoms became fractured, and there was a total breakdown of his famous centralized defense. This opened up Frankish lands to Scandinavian raiders from the north. You see, for years the Christian Frankish Empire had been expanding into pagan territories and killing Danes along the way. During this time, the Danes did not stand a chance against Charlemagne's unified forces. But now Charlemagne was out of the picture, and Francia was weak. The Northmen started small, sending raiding parties out through the dredges of Frankish lands. And in doing this, they were quite successful. These raids kept getting bigger and bigger until the Vikings were sending shiploads of men and ransacking pretty big areas of Francia. Success breeds success, and the Vikings were realizing that firsthand. King Horik was the ruler of the Danes at that time. He did not approve of these raids at all. In fact, he publicly condemned them in letters to King Charles, who was Charlemagne's successor. This could have been a ruse. It's possible that Horik just wanted to save face while still letting his men raid. However, more likely it revealed that King Horik had very little control over his tribes of Vikings and their warlords. One such warlord was Ragnar Lothbrok.